This is the Dark Wings Show, giving y'all another episode of the show today on YouTube. And the day is set the 7th of January of this new year. And I want to talk about Sean Payton possibly going to Tampa next year. And I want to talk about, no doubt, what the New Orleans Saints let it happen. Besides, what I really want to talk about too is Todd Bowles. After 1 year, you mean to tell me that y'all gonna let him go for Sean Payton? I mean, and I'm not saying it's a bad deal, but what I will say, he is still under contract with the New Orleans Saints in y'all division. So why in the world what 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 the Saints want to do that? If he go anywhere, I think he can return to New Orleans in my opinion. Cause you're still on the contract. And I can't see them letting Sean Payton go to Tampa when y'all in the same division. I have to come to work people. I mean, I got the news yesterday. And they talked about how Sean Payton could be a possible source and Tampa. But he just got over coaching the New Orleans Saints. So how in the world could that possibly happen? I don't see New Orleans letting him go in the same division like that. I mean, the one thing about it is still other good jobs out there. Now, I've heard the Cowboys. I've heard a lot of teams. But the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I seriously doubt it. Because they playing in the same division. How is that possible? How in the world is that possible right there? And then Todd Bowles. Far as I know of, I'm just going to name for three uh, African American coaches in the NFL. You talking about getting rid of one after 1 year? Now it happened in the Arizona when they got rid of Steve Wilkes in Arizona. But I mean, you mean to tell me they can possibly do the same thing in Tampa? I don't think that will be right there. To get rid of that black coach after 1 year for Sean Payton. And let's be real, Sean Payton, he ain't done nothing either. Do you want to talk about just winning one Super Bowl championship? Let's be real about it. That happened in what? 2006 when they beat the Colts? Sean Payton been living off that one Super Bowl for years. Now you talk about getting rid of a black coach and a good one at that and Todd Bowles for Sean Payton. And I'm just gonna put it out there. I think old Tom Brady got something to do with it because I put it out there before and I'm gonna put it out there again. Sean Payton uh, and Tom Brady, they wanted to play together in Miami, but it didn't work out. They were trying to get to Miami. I think it was 2007 or something like that. Things didn't work out then because what happened with this situation about hiring black coaches? Brian Flores bought out that lawsuit, and that's the only reason why that didn't happen. Now we talk about it happening again in Tampa. Todd Bowles been there for 1 year. Now y'all want to talk about getting rid of him for Sean Payton. Let me ask y'all a question right here. What has Sean Payton done? Let's be real about it. Besides that one Super Bowl, the first of all, 1 year he was in New Orleans. Now, I don't think it's going to happen. Because Tampa and New Orleans play in the same division. So that is something that, in my opinion, that won't happen. Because he's still under contract with the Saints. And that's why I had to bring this out early this morning. Now, when I look at that situation right there, I mean, and I'm not saying that one thing a bad idea for the simple fact, but I'm saying when you want to talk about the way the NFL going now, I wouldn't do that because they already on a lawsuit for racist. Being racist like that, if Brian Ford came out with this lawsuit, that would be really a bad hire right now. To get rid of a black head coach after 1 year like that, I don't know if that would be a good idea. Cause you gotta look at Todd Bowles, he's a good coach now. He has got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the playoffs right now. They got a home game against possibly Dallas Cowboys. So would I wind up doing that? I don't know if I would. I really wouldn't for the simple fact that's a hard thing to do right there. You want to talk about, especially after what happened with the NFL right now. What that'll really do is make it bad right there. So, if anything I would say for right now, now it could happen, but I can't see Sean Payton moving on to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. For one, he in that same division. For another one, after what happened to the NFL a couple of years ago, that's a bad idea. Because it would be more trouble than a little bit if they was to pull that off. Let's move on to the next topic. I want to talk about LeBron James breaking career record, and that's coming up within the next few games. He's gonna be the highest scored player in the NFL in the NBA history. I mean, he scored the most points in the NBA. And what I want to know back in the day, could he have done that? Could he have played with the Michael Jordan, the bad boy Pistons, and all that? That's what I want to know, cause right now the NBA is I call it a cupcake league, cause you can't hand check no more. Can't do none of that. Now, back in the day, could he have competed with the likes of a Michael Jordan and the bad boy Pistons, Magic Johnson, and all that? Could have LeBron James? Could he have played in that league? I mean, he was good now, don't get me wrong. Not to mention you had Karl Malone and John Stockton. And by him breaking the career record, could he have broken in that league? Because back then, that was a tougher league back then. And they played better defense back then. So now you want to talk about LeBron scoring more points in NBA history. I would have loved to see him play in that league because a man with his talent, though, the guy can play some basketball. Let's call it what it is. Let's move on to the next topic. I want to talk about John Moran and the Memphis Grizzlies right now. Because, I mean, a lot of people say they do more talking than playing right now. I mean, John Moran came out with this, they asked him, Malik Andrews asked him on ESPN what team was he worried about in the West, and he said nobody. And then the Golden State Warriors, no doubt about it, they put it on. So by them being a young team, do they do more talk than playing basketball? In my opinion, I really think that they do. Because sometimes you got to literally just shut up and pretty much play basketball per se. But I think if they get older, because when you're young like that, you don't really think. You don't really, it takes a little time to grow up. When you're young, you get to feeling yourself a little bit. You think you can't be stopped. So you have to be humble. But when it comes to uh, John Morant, let's call him what he is, the second place in basketball. And if he keep on going the way he going now, he can be one of the top dogs in the NBA. He already is because you think about what he done. He done took that city of Memphis over. Don't nobody come see Graceland no more. Everybody want to come see John Morant. I mean, let's just call him what it is. And the thing here, he wasn't even from Memphis. That's why I said a couple of years ago, I didn't even think he was coming back. But not as he's, not that he come back, but let's call him what it is. He signed a 6-year deal. So he'll possibly finish his career out in Memphis. I mean, he literally done took over that city right now. And I am so amazed because when you think about where he came from, I mean, his dad had put a basketball court in his yard, and every boy in the neighborhood would come to his house. It kind of remind me of us because that's what we did. Once we put that basketball court up, every kid in the neighborhood would come to our house and play basketball. That's just what it was. And I remember his dad had saying, he said, y'all follow do whatever you gotta do for it just don't hurt. And all of them would go out there, they would have a barbecue, and all the kids would be right there in the neighborhood playing basketball. And you think about who he played with, Zion Williamson and all that. All them grew up together playing basketball and they pretty much made it. And now you looking at a major superstar, John Morant, right now. He literally, to me, he gonna be the face of the league when LeBron James league. I think he's gonna be John Morant league pretty soon. I want to talk about, yeah, LeBron James saw possibly coming to Memphis if it's gonna happen. I mean, what I would say about that, I think it's a possibility that it could happen, but you just don't know. You just don't. I mean, you look at it like that, would it bring a lot of publicity to Memphis? Oh, yes. They would get a lot of it. I'm ready to tell you right now, a lot of publicity per se. You want to talk about if that would happen, because you have LeBron James in Memphis all the time. Not to mention that recruit class that you got coming in next year. And so we'll definitely see how that's going to go. But it's going to be fun to think about. I want to talk about NFL playoff football next next week per se. We all know that the playoffs is kicking off and getting ready for next week. Cause NFL football, that's gonna be the last game this Sunday. And so now we moving on to the playoffs. And you want to talk about some fun? Cause I'm already excited about it. You want to talk about no doubt about it, NFL playoff football? Let's get it. Let's do it now. And I'm here to tell you right now, you want to talk about it very much so excited about it. Because NFL, because you want to know will Dallas win their first game next week against Tampa? Or will they flat out go home? And if they go home, will it be a new coach in Tampa next year? That's flat out the bottom line. And if they win their first game, let's call it what it is, y'all. How far can they get in the playoffs? Can they go to Philadelphia and beat them? Can they go to San Francisco and beat them? What I want to talk about, people picking them to get to the NFC Championship game. But can they get to the Super Bowl this year? Can the Dallas Cowboys finally break that bird and get to the Super Bowl this year? Because that's what I want to know. Is that, because I feel like if they play the game that I know they can play on, yeah, they can do it. They can get there. And so we will find out sooner or later in this. I want to talk about another topic, no doubt about it. DeMar Hamlin. DeMar Hamlin, of course, we know that what happened to him on Monday night, and he is coming out the woods, no doubt about it. It seems like to me that he will be okay. And you think about it, because he was a superstar all over the country, and everybody was praying for him that he got better. And when I came over here and I told people, when it comes to the NFL, let's be real. You gotta get your money because it's so dangerous out there. Anything can happen. One wrong lick can hurt you. And so I'm glad he's doing all right. I'm glad for his parents, his family, and because they went through a tough time. Heard about this and being at that hospital. And seemed like to me everything is pretty much turning all right. And so I wish him much strength and I continue to hope that he get better. I want to talk about, no doubt about it, Mike Thomas. I mean, Mike Tomlin to me is becoming a rising superstar in coaching right now. That's just what it is, y'all. I mean, when you want to talk about Mike Tomlin, Mike Tomlin is, to me, one of the greatest coaches. Mike Tomlin have his team believing in a way that you will not believe. Because when they went out there and they won that game last week, and he told Chris Starward, he said, we don't die, we multiply. I'm going to tell you how good Mike Tomlin is. I'm going to tell you right now, if the Dallas Cowboys had Mike Tomlin, what they could do. What they could do, y'all. I'm here to tell you right now, if the Dallas Cowboys had Mike Tomlin, that team will be at Super Bowls after Super Bowl to no avail. That team, and they got a good team now, but the Dallas Cowboys need a coach like Mike Tomlin. No doubt about it, y'all. You look at how good this man is in the job that he do. It's unbelievable. Let's move on to the next topic. Oh yeah, I want to talk about Skip and Santa. Oh yes, I want to talk about Skip and Santa. Because again, like I said it yesterday, and I'm going to say it again. Skip, I mean, he never been in this situation. We had to compete with somebody. Because you pretty much had everything on lockdown, pretty much. And so when it comes down to it right now Shannon is one of those rising superstars that is tough to beat. Let's call it what it is. Shannon Sharp's a rising superstar in media. You look at the Shea Club and all the interviews that he gets. I mean, he had the news on Deion Sanders that he said, I want him to put it out. I can't steal his thunder. So him and Deion Sanders talk all the time. And then you was able to get an interview with Steve Smith at the time. No doubt about it. And then take a lot to do what he did. You look at you got an interview with Ice Cube, and they talked about his group back in the day with Easy Eek. All the then you got an interview with T.O. and he talked about the situation with Dallas at the time. So Shannon Sharp survived the superstar in me. See, that's the thing. And I think it affected Skip Bayless to this point. Because, I mean, you look at, he don't have to re-up that contract if he don't want to. He can go on and do something new next year. But it'll be up to Shannon if he want to do it or not. All of a sudden, you're attacking that man because of one man, and that's Tom Brady. Telling that man that he jealous of Tom Brady because guess what? He retired early. Sanders retired at 35. He said, you mad because he's still playing that 45. Sanders said, you gonna do me like that? You gonna disrespect me over this man? So that gonna show you that there is something deeper than what we all know about this situation. And then with this Damar Hamlin situation, he said he stands by what he said. He said he ain't taking that tweet down. So jealousy is the key. Let's just call it what it is, y'all. Let's do this. I'm ready to tell you right now. This is the Dog Wayne Show. Bringing y'all another episode. And I truly thank y'all for this opportunity. And I'm gonna come down. I got a surprise for y'all. For real, it's coming up real soon. So tune in. I'm gonna set it up as soon as possible for all my fans. I love y'all. I'm out.